I think we all can keep ourselves unmuted. It will be nice to have some noise together. Just keep yourself unmuted.
Okay, guys, I think we are live.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi, are we live? Good evening. Good evening. Such a pleasure to be welcoming our very young, youthful team of the upcoming song, Bola Vitthal. We have with us some beautiful dancers, dance students, and they're all young people. I think all of them are in their 20s or even below. So it's really a young bunch of people, and we are so happy to have a chat with you, all of you today, and know about your experience through this. So can I ask, first of all, to each one of you, I'll just tell your names. We have Yashasvi, Sadamini, Tejesh, Ramya, Shashank, Sai Brinda, Sandhya, Deepta, and Naveen. So I'll request first of, and we have, of course, our coach of all T.V Ramprasadh Appa, who is
I would just like to say that they are all already performing dancers and very sparkling, bright, young, beautiful and handsome dancers.
So it's going to be a dazzling conversation today. So can I ask each one of you to just tell your names and just tell us what you do apart from dancing. If you have any other profession or interest that you pursue, that'll be great if you would share that, and we'll take it from there.
Saudamini, start with you. So please tell us what, about your dance itself, about your dancing, how many years you've been performing, whom have you been learning, and some things about your dance, and what else do you do? Introduce yourself to us, our viewers.
Thank you, Anna. So my dance journey started at the age of 5. So it was a dream that my mom had that she, saw in me, and she couldn't pursue it, so she wanted me to do it. And the journey began like that. And initially, I was young, and I liked the attention of going to class and being noticed there. So, and later on, I got to know the value of this art form. Uh, s- yeah, maybe at the age of 12 or 13 is when I realized that okay, this is some serious stuff. I just can't do it for attention anymore. And my sir, my previous Guru Balakrishna Manjeshwar, he was very strict about lines and everything, so that got me more interest. I got that interest in dance. So then I started pursuing it, and then I did my MA in Bharatanatyam, and then I met Indira Akka, whom I'm currently training under, and it's been a great journey with her. And if something good has happened in recent years, it's me joining Indraka for sure, and that has taken my dancing interest and yeah, everything to a whole new level for sure. Yeah.
How many years have you been performing?
I've been performing, yeah, right from when I was in my UKG. That's when I was 5 years. I started performing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did my first Pushpanjali that time.
So do you do this full time?
No, I don't do this full. I wish I would. I would want to do it full time, but I'm also an engineer by profession, and I am currently working as a project manager for a company based out of Bangalore. So hoping I'll take this up soon as a profession.
Wonderful. Shashank, can you share your journey in dance and whatever else you're doing? Share with us.
Sure. So hi guys, I'm Shashank. My journey in dance actually started even before I was born. My mom learned dance as a child, and unfortunately, she was unable to pursue it. I think both of us have the same story, me and Sautami Akka. So before I was born, I have an elder brother, and my mom was always wanting to teach her kids dance. So first, she had a son, and then after that, she was like, when I was about to be born. She's like, for sure, this child is going to be a girl, and I'm going to make her a big dancer and all that. And finally, when the baby came, it's a little boy, and she was like, "Ayo, now I can't do anything. I'll have to dance." And she started. She was like, "Okay, I will revive her training," and she was practicing. And as a little kid, like when I started walking, I started dancing. So I'd see her stand in front of the TV and dance, and I would dance along with her. So she saw my interest and joined me at class with her guru, and from there I went uh, between Kerala and Bangalore. I learned with a lot of gurus, and around 10 years ago I joined Mithun sir, Mithun Sham, and since then I've been under his guidance, and I did my Ranga Pravesha in 2017, and now I'm slowly taking up dance like as a parallel profession, I think, and I hope I can keep it going for a long, long, long time.
What are you
Uh,
doing otherwise?
yeah, besides that, I am currently in my third year of architecture at BMS College.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think that's my story.
Sandhya, can you share all the S's? There are a lot of S's.
Yeah, so same like Saudamini, maybe I started when I was 5 years old. My dance teacher used to live just in the ground floor, so it was like, I was there at his place all the time under Navda sir. I learned for many years, but I never thought of taking it as a profession, until recently, because back then in Mangalore, it was not really dance was not considered as a profession. It can be just like, your hobby and not as a profession. So, and my father was quite particular that I do some degree along and just not dancing. So I did my MSc in interior designing, and till recently I was working. Maybe till my son was born, I was working as interior designer. Meanwhile, performing along with my teachers, Kashi ma'am and Navda sir and all that. And once my son was born, I decided, and also for a reason that I got married to an artist family. So I thought this is the time that I have to shift my full time dancing. So especially after my son was born, and that was the only thing that I could do. And right time, Indira Kadambiaka came to Bangalore, and everything matched. And now I'm happily uh, learned under her and performing with her guidance. So that's been my journey.
Sandhya is perhaps one of the senior most dancers in this group, and with a lot of experience. And she very nicely told, I'm married into an artist family. And you were very much into art even before that. And yes, you once you married Giridhar Udupa, I think both of you are a perfect, couple together, artistic couple, and both of them run the Udupa Foundation so successfully. Udupa Foundation not only does music concerts, but they do major dance concerts now, and a lot of charity works, a lot of services in various old age homes, and wonderful work, Sandhya. Super.
Thanks, Rana.
So, Tejesh, he's the quietest in our group. Do you agree, all of you? Make him
Namaste,
talk.
Anna.
After Sai Brindana.
Oh, yeah, one more is there.
Namaste, everybody. My name is Tejesh. I am learning from a guru called P. Praveen Kumar. He's based out of Bangalore, Old Bangalore, Shankarpura. So I'm slightly late learner. I started learning dance when I was 19, actually. So I was doing my graduation. I had just moved out from a village, actually. I was born and brought up in Bangalore, but I had to go to a village for my education. It was actually a matha, actually, Adi Chintanagiri Matha. So then I came back to Bangalore. So during that transition period,
Yeah, we are able to hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Come on. He cannot hear us. We can hear you. Come on.
Now we cannot hear you.
Okay, now he's not audible. Okay, we'll come back to you, Tejesh. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Thumbs up. Okay, we'll come back to you. Ramya, why don't you talk about your journey?
Hi, Appa. So my name is Ramya. I started dancing, I think, when I was 4 or 5 years old, like all of us as a child. I was in Dubai initially, and I learned first under she was Amma's schoolmate, rather. She knows her from long back, and she's a Kalakshetra alumni. Her name was Srimati Prabha Ramesh, and I started with her, did my adavus with her. From then on, I moved under Deepa Ganesh. She's also from Kalakshetra, and Annapurna Murli. And then finally, the family moved to India, Bangalore, and that's when I got the opportunity to learn under Adya Lakshman's sister, late Srimati Nagamani Srinivasa Rao, and it's under her who I did my Arangetram back in 2005, maybe. After that, I've had a long learning journey, I would say, with late Guru B. Bhanumati for over 12, 13 years. I was with Banu ma'am, learning with her. And yes, after my marriage, I am now under Indra completely, entirely. I think for the last, since 2020, yeah, last 3 years, I'm with Amana. This
Okay,
is
and
my
what do you
dance
do?
journey.
What do you do?
By profession?
By profession, both. I will say both. I am doing my master's, final year post graduation in pathology at Adi Chanchanagiri Institute of Medical Sciences here in Pellore Cross. And I'm also a dancer.
Okay, super. Deepta, come on.
Hi everyone. So I think my story is also very similar to what Saudamni was describing. I started dancing, I think, when I was 4 or 5, and up until the age of, I think, 14, 15, it was, I mean, my mother's wish for me to, learn dance, because very similarly, she also couldn't continue after a particular point. I just went to class and came. It wasn't something that I used to attend regularly, but I didn't think of it as anything beyond that. It was just a class I went to and came back. Then I think around that age, I think, yeah, when I was in high school is when I started performing a little more regularly. I was learning from Ashok sir then. And that's when my interest sort of grew. And over that period when I was in school and college, I think I slowly also understood how much more dance brought to my life than just being able to learn the art. I think it was a lot more than that. Like, it taught me, now when I look back, I know that it taught me um, hard work, the ability to work hard, persevere, um, working with different sets of people under different circumstances. So much. I think it taught me a lot about life and values. That's when I started appreciating my journey with the art a lot more. Um, and over the last 3 years, I've also been learning from Indra.
Oh, wonderful. And are you working, or
Yes.
are you going to dance?
I'm right now focusing completely on dance. I'm a lawyer by profession. I was working with Flipkart until very recently. And for the longest time, I think, like a lot of us in this group, I debated between continuing both professions, one side, the other side. I had one foot on both sides. And then I decided that right now is the time I need to take the plunge. So yeah, last couple of months have been completely focusing on dance for now.
Wow, super. Naveen, can you share something about yourself?
Hello, sir. Namaste and hi for all here. So basically, I'm Naveen and I dance like I joined dance like when I was very young, maybe 6 or 7 years old. My mom put me into dance. So she was actually very interested that I should learn something, maybe at least a dance or music or something. So and she put me into Bharatnatyam. So my gurus are Chetan sir and Chandra ma'am. They are the dancing couples. They do Bharatnatyam and Kuchipudi too. So I started learning from them and I completed my Arangetram in 2012. So I've been pursuing my dance career from then. So studying and I'm done with my Vidvat and I'm actually planning to do my MA in Bharatnatyam. Actually I finished my studies, but I'm still studying too and carrying even dance together. But I actually worked for a few months in one of the firms called EY. So then it was like too hectic for me. So I just quit the job and I'm completely focusing on dance now. And other than dance, I'm into media, like I'm into anchoring into the Kannada television industry. So I'm doing that and dance for now. So I want to pursue my MA. That's my actual, what do you say, dream maybe for now. So yeah, and that's about me.
We should continue on to PhD also. MA, PhD.
Yeah, that's my dream. I want to learn more. So yeah, I think I want to do it maybe later in my days.
Super, super, super. Wonderful. Sai Brinda, come on. You're the quietest student. Let's get you to talk.
Hello, sir. Namaste. Hi, everyone. My dancing journey is so like every other parent behind a dancer. My mom also put me into drawing class, music class, dance class. From when I could talk, she put me in music class. When I could walk, she put me in dance class. So, and when I could start writing, she put me in drawing class. At one point of time, I even went to badminton class, skating class, swimming class, chess class, name any class. I went to that class, and I always loved going to dance class because I had no friends because our house is in the main road. I had no friends. Only I would sit in dance class for 3-4 hours. You leave me, I'll sleep there also. So dance was always my best friend. I loved going to dance class. I loved playing more than dancing there a lot. So I started performing when I was uh, 10 years old. When my first with my first dance teacher, Srimati Charulochana. I learned under her for 6 years. Then I shifted to another teacher, Srimati Subhashini Umapati, and I learned with her for about 7 years. I did my Arangetram under her in May this year, and in August I shifted to Indraka, which is the best decision I've ever made, I think, to take on my dance journey forward. And I've been learning Abhinaya from Akka since 2020, April, I think. So now it's full time in Ambalam, which I'm loving. And I also paint. So from my childhood, the two art forms that came out of all the classes are dance and painting, which I do. Music I do as hobby, and I always love singing. So music is my relaxation from dance and painting. So that is how it. So so for everybody, if it's school from if everybody goes to school and for relaxation they do dance and music, for me it's relaxation from music is relaxation from dance and painting. So that is how it has been. And since after homeschooling, after my 10th I started homeschooling. So from there I wanted to I was always wanted to become a dance teacher. I've always wanted to teach kids, and I always loved teaching games since I was childhood, since my childhood. So now I teach around 10 kids, and it's wonderful. So
Super.
And to
She's the youngest in our group.
Wonderful. Can we hear from Tejesh?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'm sorry for the mishap earlier. So I was telling that I
It's a little feeble.
Can you come closer to the mic?
Come closer, that's all.
Can you hear me now? No?
Yes, better.
Yeah.
So I was telling that I started learning dance a bit late, like probably when I was 19 or 20. I was born and brought up in Bangalore. Then I moved to Adichintanagiri Matha, which is in Mandya, for education. And then I came back to Bangalore. That transition between city and the village back to city was slightly chaotic for me. And I was also studying in a hostel at that time. So,
Papa, you are muted.
We can't hear you, Tejesh. It's not audible. So maybe you just figure it out. We will come back to you later. Just figure out how to sing so that you can be audible. You are audible in the beginning, so try that. Yashasvi will hear from you.
Namaste and hello everyone. I'm Yashasvi Jana. I've been learning dance since when I was 4 or 5 years old, like everyone else. And my story is a little different. When I was yet to be born, my mother used to listen to a lot of music, and one of the favorite music was Nada Tanumanisham. And even now, I'm addicted to the song, and I'm always listening to it. And that's how I got into music. And I saw my sister dancing on stage one day, and I'm like, I also want to go and just try it out. And that trying it out, practice became into a new journey, and I've been loving the journey. I've been learning music under Kanchana Shruti for the past 7-8 years. And then I've been learning dance under Mithun Sham since 2016-17. Under his guidance, I have gained a lot of experience and have learned a lot in the past few years. Other than that, I just finished my 12th grade and I wish to join into engineering field. Yeah, that's my.
Super. Bidisha, you can carry on. We'll talk to Tejesh later, so you can proceed.
What really stands out, it's incredible, is to see all of you pursuing, like we have engineers to doctor, to interior designer, to architect, to lawyer, to social worker, media personnel, professional, and all of you are professional dancers. And it's firstly, to be honest, it's incredible that the kind of effort it takes for all of you to be able to pursue something as serious as Bharatanatyam. Because I would say Bharatanatyam is not anything less than, it's another institute, it's another ocean that you are pursuing. So it takes a lot of determination, it takes a lot of faith, I must say, that you are able to do it with so much conviction. So hats off to that, like honest hats off to that. And I know that all of you have so much, and this is the time, this is the age perhaps where you start developing your own independent thought processes. You start understanding and observing the world around you more seriously. So my big question to all of you, and please be candid and please be honest, how do you as a youth from this generation, it's a rather different generation from where faith could be more, how would I say, more probably inherited or natural. But for all of you who are in this generation, you have a lot of other distractions. You have a lot of options of pursuing anything that you wish to do. I know Bharatanatyam and music probably gives all of you a big grounding into many hardcore aspects of faith. But as an individual, if I ask you to, for a moment, keep aside your Bharatanatyam training, look at yourself as a fun young person of this era of Instagram and whatever, how do you see faith coming into, even existing in your lives? And how do you see faith around you? So just pop in your thoughts, even if they are contradictory to each other. We'd love to hear you out. Please tell us.
Anyone, you can go in any order.
Don't mute yourselves. Keep yourself unmuted. That will be just fun. We can all talk Shashank, you want to go first? Shashank, please come.
I think like you asked us to keep, separate the dance part of it from us, but I think unfortunately for all of us, that's going to be quite impossible. It's over the years, it's become very much a part of ourselves. Even the fun-loving individuals in the era of Instagram, and we use the Instagram for dance itself. So,
I know, I understand that, but I'm trying to come to you from a very generic perspective. I want to know, what do you think about maybe your friends, or like, how does faith come to your generation? That's my question. We'll come to you. Yes, please come.
So generally, when people reach 40s, 50s, naturally you get more, you start believing more in something above you, or you start contemplating more about life, about
even
yourself.
Questioning about it. Yeah.
Questioning things. So generally when you're in 20s or before 20s or early, 20s or even 30s, many of us don't think much about this aspect of faith or anything. That questioning in many doesn't occur because our life is so fast paced. So that's what she's asking. So just tell us what you all think about what she just asked. And it can be anything. As she said, don't, keep holding back anything. Just be free in sharing. We'd love to hear.
So basically, the people in this generation, like us and all the youngsters, I think they don't believe in faith at all nowadays. So they're just like, they just go with the flow. They don't have hopes on themselves, and they just go, what we are doing, we'll just do it. So I think, according to me, what I've seen, like my friend circle and stuff, they don't even believe in faith, is what I think. Is just.
So they don't believe in faith means what? What sort of faith? Faith in God? Faith in something else? Faith in themselves? You told they don't have faith in themselves.
Yeah, faith in themselves. Sometimes they don't even, have hopes on them. So they think that everything is just happening and I'm not able to do anything. That is what I've heard also from many people, like my youngsters, maybe my cousins, my friends and all. So nowadays, many people, they don't have hope on themselves, is what I can say.
But do they have hope on anyone else? Do they have faith in other people?
They don't actually. They don't even believe in anything nowadays. Like something is coming to me, I'm just going to take that and move forward. So they say that I'm trying a lot to do something that's not happening. So they've lost hopes and faith, is what I think.
I think what it is what at least this generation tries to do is interchange belief and faith, right? They interchange those words and use it. I would say belief grows on to become faith. So faith is like a process or a journey which we all must go through in order to reach, I would say, a state of mind that we want to achieve, an ideal place a niche we want to live in, where we have a sense of a belonging, oneness together, or just a sense of, what do I say, security or anchorage, which, a security in terms of, I believe in that, and hence things are, for example, things are okay. And this will then build you to have a strong trust and confidence. I think the minute you trust and have that confidence in something or someone or whatever it is, everyone has different beliefs, which then become a faith, right? So the minute you grow that belief into a faith, it becomes faith. And what lacks, I think, for this generation is we all question why, what, and we don't want to believe easily without substantial proof, or unless we have something which makes sense to us. I think that is where we maybe why it could be the reason
but that
why
is perhaps
not everyone.
It's so true, Ramya. Absolutely.
But by definition, faith is, having that trust or confidence in something which doesn't need proof. It doesn't need to be proven.
Do you think people are, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I think Ramya.
Yeah. So do you think that youngsters are looking for, they don't want to hear perspectives because they want to see proofs of that? Or is it that they are simply not interested?
I think they're interested. It is just that for them, it is like unless we see it for ourselves, we will not believe it.
I think it's quite legitimate also to
Yeah,
have
it's
that
like
kind of a
they're not going
mindset.
to deny that it's
Hmm.
wrong or it doesn't exist, but unless they experience it for themselves, they will not believe it. I think that is what is happening. Unless you try it and figure it out, if it works for you, then they're going to believe that.
Because
I would
also a huge part of today's youth is this complete how do they have the capability of doing anything or everything they would want to put their heart into it. But at the same time, with that kind of ability comes a lot of vulnerabilities, because it's something that is hard, that can go beyond your control. Like when you have too much of complex power with you, it can go beyond control. So to have a simplistic picture of being able to believe something without being able to needing the reason to it is quite a difficult challenge in that kind of and we cannot take it away from them, because once they find it, look at this bunch of people here, once they find it, that kind of anchorage, which shows them that, okay, this has a purpose and this is holding us, they will have it. But it's a journey that people need to find, perhaps. I'd love to hear from Sai Brinda on this. Like, what is it to you?
So I think it's the opposite for me from what Naveen Anna said, because I was taught from a very young age that உன் மேல நம்பிக்கை இல்லைனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, கடவுள் மேல நம்பிக்கை வச்சுக்கோ. That is, if you don't have faith in yourself, have faith in God. That is what I was taught. So my whole life I lived like till what I'm living right now, I lived by this only. So I was like, if I don't have faith in myself, I have faith in God. So I think this generation also contains people who have faith in themselves and God. So Navinanda maybe said means that people don't have faith, but they have faith in fate. So yeah. So they just take up. So I was always brought up saying நம்பிக்கை வச்சுக்கோ கடவுள் மேல. That is, have faith in God. So I was always brought up like that. So yeah.
So what is your experience with faith? I mean, so far in your journey, do you really now that you have put your faith on the God, do you think he's listening to you and doing something for you? Is it helping you? Are you feeling, as Ramya said, secure? Are you getting that sort of confidence and a reassurance of yourself? What is happening to you? Please tell us.
So if something happens bad or if something doesn't go my way, I just go to Lord Natarajan and be like, I pour my heart out and I sing or tell him that this is happening. I don't want this to happen. So all that happens, all the drama happens that you don't see. I go sit in puja room and I'm just like sitting there singing or something like that. So that is how faith connects me with my art form also. So yeah,
So
basically that.
Yeah, so beautiful.
I know some of my friends also talk to plants and some talk to, I think from my school itself, they brought us up like that. So any difficulty you have, you go talk to a plant in school. That is how we do in school. We go field trips and we go sit. We have a particular plant in school that we go and talk to and pour out all our feelings. Whenever in lunch period or snacks period, we go and do games period, anything. You go whenever you have free time, you go and talk to that plant. So I think my parents don't know this, but I'm just telling.
Wow.
No, it works. Hey, I have the experience and I'll want to share it. Is when I was little, I'd love to water the plants in the morning. And that is like one of the most, you feel like you are making friends with another living person. And it would connect, it will give so much of joy just watering the plants. And I can totally relate to this, that maybe that's a way to have a good friend. What about the lawyer? I wonder, are there any rebels in the group, like who had, like Sai Brinda seems like a very good girl from childhood. But anybody who had hard time in like accepting what was told to you, like what was taught to you? Let me, if I use that word, because that's kind of I found a very hard time in accepting what was getting taught to me. So anybody with that sort of experience?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. Sorry.
Please.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Yeah. Please go ahead, Deepika. Please go
No,
ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think I had a hard time accepting it. I think very similar to what Sai Brinda was describing. I think faith to me, as I was growing up, was largely defined by what I could see at home. And my parents are religious people, so it was mostly defined around um, religious practices, traditions, festivals. I don't think I thought much beyond that. But I think as you go through life, you sort of experience different things, meet different people, get exposed to new perspectives. So you slowly start thinking a little more broader. So I think faith to me is slightly evolving, because what I looked at as faith maybe 10 years ago isn't the same as today, and it probably won't be a few years down the line or later, maybe 10, 20 years down the line. So today, I think I would, not to say that whatever I imbibed in my childhood doesn't mean anything to me, definitely does. But I think today I have faith in hard work, in doing good generally, because I believe that if you do good, good comes back to you in some way. Um, those sort of like broader concepts, maybe slightly abstract, but I think those things sort of strung together is what faith means to me. And I think, yeah, I wasn't a rebel, but I've seen my sisters, they're younger. I think I've seen them rebelling generally against very rigidly defined constructs of faith. And I think, yeah, like what others were saying earlier, it's the like what Ramya was exactly describing and what Naveen said, that you want something tangible. I think people of the younger generation want to be able to say that, yes, if I do this, I get this in return, then I believe in it. And that's what would, which obviously is harder to define when it comes to faith, right? It tends to be slightly more intangible, which is why I think people find it very difficult to believe in something bigger than you. But I was also thinking, sorry, I'm maybe digressing a little bit, but when I was
Please go
thinking,
ahead.
when I was thinking about people of this generation, I know that a lot of people just believe in money, you know, believe in, I mean, just, working to get money in return. So maybe money is that bigger thing that they believe in and nothing else. And I don't know, maybe that is their version of faith for them,
I
if
think
not
it's about
anything else.
having a return, instantaneous gratification. That's probably that drives often. Consequences, normal consequences. Sadamini, you were coming up with something.
You were telling something about you being a rebel?
Why?
None of these are
I've been a rebel. I've definitely been a rebel, but I don't think. See, faith has never been a constant thing. It sometimes is there, sometimes is not there. So when we are at our low times, you tend to believe that, okay, whatever faith I had in, it may be myself, it may be God, it may be anything, it may be my hard work, and it doesn't give a result that we expected, like Ramya said, we tend to lose that. But again, it's only faith that gets us back to um, doing what we want to do the next day. Probably, you have that faith that, okay, no, I will still work hard. Probably one day it will be recognized. So that faith in yourself, that faith in your guru, your parents, your God, or whatever positive energy you believe in has always been there. But yeah, it's never constant. It always varies according to the circumstances, according to your mental state. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'd
So
like just, I just
another
like,
very
sorry, yeah.
impressive, give me another very impressive quality of your generation. And, you're like the generation of my students. You guys are so absolutely courageous to come up and speak up about your exact mental beings, like what
Disposition.
Sadamini just said, like you're even doubting your faith is a part of it. and then being able to come back to it. That's very, very appreciated. Please, Ramya, you were saying something. Sorry,
Yeah, no, I was just relating to what you're saying, like what you were about to say. Like, I think initially for everyone, I think faith comes with an expectation of a return, and then there's a disappointment. And then the next phase is transcending that expectation and then completely believing or having faith in something without that expectation of anything in return. But, it's just transcending that. I don't know how to put it into words, but selflessly having faith in it without an expectation of any form of return, right? It could be monetary, it could be, I don't know, whatever we expect an outcome of, but without that expectation, I think that's the journey we all want to finally. I think we all go through that different times at different stages of our life. But yeah, I think these are all different phases in finally achieving faith where
In
you
fact, the first
expect a
song,
return. Yeah.
sorry.
No. Carry on.
The first song, the Shokoli Tumari Ichha, the Bengali song which we released for the Faith Project, was all about acceptance. The fact that the devotee who's singing the song, whoever it is, in this case, I sang the song. Basically, the song is all about telling that, Mata, Ma, who's Kali Ma, you visualize, you desire, and you do things the way you want it to be. You do your karmas the way you want it to be. And people think that I am doing it. So basically, it's about just accepting. See, basically, I accept what you have to do, what you bring in, what the design you bring into this universe. I accept that I am just an instrument in your hands. So that acceptance.
Appa,
So
I have a question
song.
to you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question to you. Do you think, as Ramya was just saying, no, it takes through many phases to come to a point when you're able to accept things, transcending your expectations. Do you think, because you are the most experienced out of all of us here, do you think it really takes us to go through a lot of pain at first to really come to be able to actually come to that point? I mean, what would you, through your journeys, how would you say it?
Yes and no. There are some people who can realize this without actually going through that process of pain. But they are very few. They are very few enlightened souls. But most of us, generally in this life journey, we go through a lot of ups and downs. And in the process of going through this, waves of joy and pain, I think that brings us to a perspective of life, perspective of ourselves, perspective of a perspective on faith. So yes, definitely the pain is an experience which can actually trigger those thing of acceptance, which Ramya and me were talking about, that I accept whatever is there. There is so that definitely, because whatever you do, I know through my experience, there's a very good saying, man proposes, God disposes. So it is just the same. You may propose so many things in your life, so many things. I thought, I've got to do this. I knew, some concerts, I'm very well prepared, and everything is so, the companies are good, and this thing, and on that day, it will be a flop show. You want to, it is that I am going to do won't work at all. Some concerts, you'll have very bad sound system. Audience may be very poor, or it may be raining outside, or something may be bad. But that day's concert will be something which it will go out of the roof. It will be something unimaginable. So nothing is in our hands. So I think once you go through this experiences only, we can really understand that.
Okay, we are getting serious. I want to come back to the fun part. Sandhya, tell us about what you think, please.
Yeah. So I think I would say opposite to what Naveen shared. I believe that our entire life goes on just on faith. If I'm living with the person, I have that beautiful sentiment or emotion or whatever you call is faith. And if I go buy vegetable from a vendor, then I trust. I have that faith in him that he's selling me the right product. So I think, I mean, everything. I have a pet at home, and he merely comes to me whenever I call him. That's because he has that connection. I don't want to say that is love. Love comes much after you have that trust on somebody. And I'm a person who I don't judge or think that a person reaches to me only because he has something out of me. The first connection that I always have is what will decide whether that person is going to be there. And I believe mostly in my intuition, that which develops to be a faith on the other person. Or I think it's more of give and take. It's not, I mean, I cannot have one person faith on one person and the other person doesn't contemplate the same. So I think even I think, and as somebody said, like Dita said, I just followed what my parents showed me the path. Like they said, you have to do sit and do the japa, and then the God will definitely help you with everything. I just followed it. I never questioned on, and it has never done anything wrong to me. Even if some things have gone wrong in my life, but still I still have that faith in God to say that it has happened for good. So, and that has never, given any heartbreaks to me. So I think it's really positive when you first have that, heart to accept things, and then later, if it stays, it's for you. Otherwise,
That's actually
You're not a loser. I think everything that happens out of doing something, you only gain.
yeah.
You're not losing.
no,
Very,
that's
very thoughtful.
I'd like to add a point to that, like how she said, unfortunately, for a lot of cases, when we say, like when something bad happens, or something that is unfavorable is happening, you kind of use your faith to blame it, or some. But then sometimes you go above that, and then you say, okay, it's whatever's happening is happening for good. So it's like we're using faith as a reasoning for things that are happening. Like many of us would, like how Ramyaka said in the beginning, we need the reason.
This meeting is being recorded.
The reason there's an issue with faith is because we don't have a reason for it. But over time, you kind of realize that you can use your faith as a reason for things that are happening in your life. Like a give and take. So in my case personally, it has been this way. Like I was brought up in a house which wasn't very religious. My father is kind of religious, but my mom was more of a, like how Deepta Akka said, we were more about doing your things. We were like, I think I can call it karma yogi. So you do your work, you do good, and then you do good and you get good was our motto. And coming from such a household, my faith in something like a higher power exists, but it's not very religious or very focused on something particular. But then in like in the current generation, where like how Naveen Anna was telling, there are people who don't have faith in literally anything. So uh, you kind of, I think after a certain point, you come to terms with things happening, and you kind of need something to fall back onto. And when you don't have anything else, it will eventually be your faith.
I would like
Absolute
to
honest sharing.
I would like to add to what Shashank just said. Uh, we tend to uh, we tend to get confused between faith and belief in God. So there's the faith in God and there's the faith in the process. So we usually, when we go to temples or when we just go in front of God, the thing what we ask God is, please get me good marks. So since I'm just a student who finished 12th grade, please get me good marks. If you get me past, I'm going to give you this much, or it's just a give and take between God. So we are not doing a give and take relationship between God. But what is more idealistic is, instead of asking, get me good marks, give me the capacity to get good marks. So you, as Shashank said, we won't be blaming the faith, but we'll be getting more power from God or the Supreme to make the process more efficient. And since I just finished 12th grade and I was into this IIT JEE preparation as well, people tend to blame the coaching institutes and they don't put faith in the process of the study. So that is one thing that I got from experience, that it is a self thing that matters more than anything else. It's the process which we tend to forget.
Wonderful.
Unknowingly, you just spoke words of Rabindranath Tagore, Yashasvi, who said in a very profound way that give me the strength that I am not afraid of danger. Give me this, I'm not afraid the consequences of the danger. Rather, I am able to stand fearlessly in front of danger. Give me that strength. So we are talking to such young people and you guys are coming up with such sharing, which are very enlightening, I would say, and quite matured. So I'm very happy to have this whole chat. Tejesh, are we back online with you? Because I really want to hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now, madam? By chance?
Yes.
Come on, please.
Finally,
so we didn't get to know what you do, like your dance journey, and then you can come back to Faith, please.
I've been learning dance for the past 10 years or 11 years, perhaps. And right now I'm working for an English magazine. It's called Swarajya. So it's a national English magazine. And dancing has been a very essential part of my life so far, because I started learning dance when I was very confused and I was trying to find when I was confused, I wanted to focus my energy on something which is very constructive and I did not want to take a wrong path. I just found out a teacher very close to my hostel, and then I did not know which form of dance it was. I just asked her if I could join, and she said, like, please come and join. And that is how I joined. And I did not know that I was learning Bharatanatyam when I joined my class, actually. And then, unfortunately, my teacher, I should mention that she was very graceful, and to say that you are a male dancer, it is good that you should learn from a male dancer. And she recommended me to join, my present guru right now. So it is my dance journey. And faith is an important thing, or perhaps an important virtue in the life, actually. So all of us will have our own set of virtues and belief systems, like I can say compassion or generosity or patience. So faith is one such virtue, actually. So example, if you have given money to somebody and he won't return back, you won't stop being generous to other people, actually. So your generosity will exist. So your generosity is not is not subjective to how people respond to you. Your generosity is your ability to connect with people and to offer what you can do in your best ability, actually. So it is what generosity is. In the same way, faith is something virtue, where we can relate to it much more than any other virtues. Because, example, I want to climb a mountain, and I have a map and a compass, actually. So these two ingredients are good enough to cross the mountain, but You should know how to access the map and how to use the compass effectively. If you don't have that skill set of navigating, so like the whole point of having a map and compass is useless actually. So faith is a thing where that skill set of navigating through hardships, when you're stuck somewhere, when when you do not know which way I'm supposed to go, or am I even standing at the right place at the right time. So sometimes I think that the nature is the very wise existence actually. She knows what exactly a person deserves, or what exactly the person is supposed to be offered, and she delivers it at the right time actually. So maybe perhaps we should have that patience, consistency to to continue our work, and have faith in ourselves and our abilities.
Wow, super. Super,
What
Tejesh.
wonderful sharing, guys. Lovely. Okay, so
So
I'll tell
can
you
I ask?
something. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
Appa, you're saying something. No, go ahead. I have.
No, I just wanted to ask, anyone can say, what is your opinion about faith currently being sort of considered as just religious faith? When we talk about faith, we just come across, is it Hinduism or Islam or Christianity? So most people just relate to faith only in the as a sort of
Religion.
with the coloring of gender or geography or caste. So what is your take on that, your youngsters? What do you think? Do you think faith is this, or it's something else?
And also, does it bother you, like the curses of that kind of framework? How much does it bother you? To what extent? If you could share that.
I think it's what Deepta said, right? Initially, we all like it when she shared her journey, that the faith in God, and then as she grew up, that constantly changed, and now it's a very abstract faith in more concepts rather, right? So I think it's evolving as the generations are also becoming younger. The concept of faith is also evolving. So yes, at least to me, it does bother that. I think more than bother, I would say like there are two kinds of it. There's one side, like how Saibrinda said, one is like blindly just, blindly believing, and hence the faith. The other is like the inquisitive thinking, thought out faith that occurs. So I think whether it bothers, I think it depends on the generation. I think for most of us here, I would say thinking it out and then believing is what people relate to
Does it
now.
suppose people just talk about faith as Islam or Hindu or Christianity, and just it's all boxed and all exclusive? Does this bother you?
Yes, definitely. I think faith is beyond religion. It to confine it to a religion is, I think, at least to me, it doesn't seem right.
I think
Please, y'all feel free to share.
Yeah, our entire generation, we're all moving towards being more liberal, more accepting, more open. And so because of that, faith for us, even faith, it should be like, we feel it should be an open concept rather than being, boxed into religions and regions and geographies and genders and everything. So we are coming out of all those boxes, and this also is one of the boxes we hope to break.
Yeah. I
So
think like faith
basically,
in the essence of mankind rather than faith in my religion.
Faith in humanity.
Yeah, in humanity.
So that's really like the ideal picture that we want to see. This generation of yours is far more open and far more capable of making it happen. But the real situation that our societies are still going through, they are very troublesome, problematic. How do you deal with that? Like, does it make you angry, or how do you deal with it? Do you try to kind of make a difference even around you, or do you feel like, shutting it out? So how does it affect you? Let me ask that.
How are you changing anything?
See, I think I personally strongly believe that anything for that matter which will and which should evolve eventually, like our thought process, our ideas, like religion per se. Example, I mean, like I'm sorry if I'll be controversial. Example, Hinduism is a religion which has always been open for introspection, which has always been open for ideas from any part of the spectrum actually. So it is ready to accept the ideas, introspect, accept whatever is right, accept whatever is whatever is
Ethical.
for the mankind, like like within the religious hemisphere, and and then discard the like useless things actually. So I think like if other religions also I mean can accept this model, be open to other ideas, accept like I'm sure in this globalized world we have access to everything now. So you can access content, we can access ideas, we can access belief systems. So like, have a wide world view, see what works out for us, what is best for our family, what is best for our society, what is best for our state, what is best for the country. Accept that and like probably discard the things which are useless. Like useless things are anyways harmful. Like if not today, like if not tomorrow. Yeah. So it is my strong pick.
One thing which I have seen, Tejesh, is that at a very at the grassroots level, where I mean the people in the villages, their concept of faith and this thing is very, very simple. So there, all these things of it's just human to human. It is, I think, only somewhere on the top, it's getting colored, maybe by people who propound religion, or people who use religion for their ulterior thing, like the political parties or whatever it is. So people as such, there is no color. I mean, they are very simple and they trust. This is what my observation when I went down to the villages in different parts of India. It is somewhere above that, it's all getting colored. So religion, the religions actually are not suggesting anything. I mean, it is only that it is being sort of colored by individuals.
We really have to understand religion is a construction. It is really a human construction. Nature doesn't need it. If there is a God, he doesn't need it. Basically, we are talking about very, very intense things. I think we are running a little bit into the end of our show, but I want to tell you guys one thing before that. So we saw the first cut of directors, but the video has come out of Pula Vittila, where you all have put in your hearts and souls. And it is so, I don't want to spoil a lot, but it's just heartwarming to see the kind of love, honesty, and faith that it conveys through it. And for that matter, I want to move on to asking you guys, how was your experience in doing this? First of all, like all my engineers, architects, and doctors, and all of you, how was your time in doing this? And what are some crazy fun moments you had? What are some bloopers? Like if you want to share, that'll be amazing. Who
talk
did
about
what?
The process, talk about the recording as such, whatever.
Yes.
What did you guys feel?
Yes.
I think what talks about the project the most is as soon as you said, I want to hear about your experience, all of us had face like from one end to the other. So it was very fun, very memorable. I think our smile speaks the best about what this project was to us. It was one day of just joy. It was just joy. And there were monkeys and we were jumping around worse than the monkeys. So yeah, I think someone else can take over from here.
We were returning after the shoot, actually, like the whole day shoot, and it was me and Akka Sandhya Akka who were sitting in the vehicle actually, and she said one beautiful thing actually. She said, "Group ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ." I mean, like this group is very good, and I did not find anybody having ego or like we did not have any clashes, and we found it a very like seamless like uh,
Process.
the shooting actually, and then I found it like really like important and like very apt because we were all like coming to the rehearsals, and like we were coming from various teachers and various ideas and various backgrounds, and I mean like immediately after we started practicing for a couple of hours, like we could gel each other like, with each other very well, and Kaudamini was one of the most humorous people I've ever met.
What did she do?
What have I not done?
What have you not done?
She was funny. She was imitating everyone possible, actually. So she was very funny. I just loved her.
Was she imitating me also?
You don't want to know.
You want to do it? You want to do it mini once? A little bit of that will be fun.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Show us your skill.
I don't think the Zoom platform will give justice to the imitation she does.
Oh my God, no.
But
We are missing Advait today. We are missing Advait today.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was fun actually. So
Yeah,
from the day we joined the rehearsals and everything, it was really great. We got to eat so much actually. Sandhya ordered ice creams for us and everything. And it was
Such a huge part of it, my God.
Yeah, Shashank.
Shashank was the show
Shashank is
actually.
same of Yashasvi. Sorry.
Yeah, Yashasvi. That's what we heard from day one. We kept asking. Advait was very interested to meet Shashank. He kept asking, "Where's Shashankana? Are you Shashankana? Are you Shashankana?" So, but finally, last one day he came and he stole the show, and we are all very jealous of you.
So what did he do? What did he do?
He went into a
The
trance.
director stole everything about Shashank.
He overacted.
He overacted.
So Shashank didn't attend most of the rehearsals, only the last rehearsal. So we had no idea of how he looks, how tall he is, how broad he
All
is,
same.
where should he be,
All same.
how it is. So and the only person who knew him was Yashasvi. And we were like, okay, tell me, how is he, how tall, how broad, so that we can be like, same, complexion, same, height, same.
So how much did the director direct you? How was your experience with the video team? What did they do to you? Let me ask.
No, I think I would really appreciate them. They were all very good with us. Initially we took time to, sort of warm up and, they'll also have something in their mind, right? They would also had a thought that, okay, this has to come out like this. And it actually took time for us to, come there, get ready. We took half a day to just get ready, and then we came. We were not getting the right shot, and yeah, but they were very, very supportive. They kept telling like just forget yourself and dance.
Let
Just
go.
forget.
Yeah.
Go into that trance.
One biggest concern that I had, and I talked to our director Ramya Suresh here. I told her, you guys are all professional Bharatanatyam dancers. You cannot take out that from yourself. But I request, please take it out from yourself.
So I'll tell you what happened, the issues that we had. Yes. I didn't speak to Shamik up until the day before the shoot. So I had zero idea of
Shamik is our director.
What he wanted, what he was expecting in the video, what scene, nothing. I had zero idea. So when I went in to tell these guys like, this is the song, this is what is in mind, we had something else in mind. And then I spoke to Shamik, and then he said a few things, and I go back to think, I'm like, guys, we gotta like change everything. And we were like just looking at
And then we needed another ice cream to process all.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
rained also that day. It rained and
It
we
rained,
couldn't even
yeah.
practice.
And then I
So
think
we
that
were
was the best thing, because we like completely, though we kept the base of the, whatever choreography we
idea
did,
and
we ideas was, we just kept a very basic idea and left everything else open, because of the last conversation, and because we had to change everything. And then we were like, I think it's best we just go there, freak out, do what comes there, and don't
what
think
happens,
about
yeah.
it, don't
The creative,
choreograph it. Maybe this is the base, let's do this, but whatever comes,
the creative
whatever comes.
independence, the creative independence helped us to on-spot trance things.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Shashank.
Yashasvi speaks like a big philosopher.
France and fall on the floor.
Yeah.
Who's the one who fell on the
Shashank.
floor?
No,
Tejesh.
Tejesh.
Tejesh and Saudamini, yeah. They did
You
Vittala. They went round and round and round like a top, and then they fell on the floor.
There also Shashank was overacting a little bit. After when he was about to fall, he was like trying to catch a floor. Like where do I find something to hold on to?
And in fact, because of Shashank, we all fell on the floor, because the director was so impressed by him. He said, "This is the guy I'm looking at."
This guy
and,
is mad.
we
You
just
should
wanted to
watch
compete.
him.
No, one very important aspect of our whole project is that in none of our music videos, we are not deifying it. So we are absolutely keeping it out of. We are really trying to focus on the emotion of faith that should transpire through, the video. And the little bit of the storytelling that you did, once again, I'm not going to spoil it all for the audiences, but the little bit of storytelling where you briefly just portray the story of Vitthal coming to Pandharpur. And that is so beautifully done, Sandhya. I cannot stop looking at you in that.
Sandhya, Yashasvi,
Everybody, yes.
Naveen.
Advait
is not
was
here.
there. Advait became okay. Let's not spoil it. But the point is, without showing a very religious way, but rather showing the philosophy and the story behind it through you guys. The voice came out so pure, and I cannot say how proud we all are. For all
In
of
fact,
us
the
coming together.
first song was the first song, Shakoli, was about acceptance. This particular song is about ecstasy. So I think all of you have done wonderfully well to show that pure madness and the joy and that ecstasy. We could see that. I know that it took so many all of you had to do it repeatedly because of so many circumstances. I mean, the right light and right thing. So when you do a shoot, it's always so difficult, especially for dancers.
Our director is
keep
very
doing
persistent.
the same thing over and over. It's physically very tiring. But in spite of that, I think what came out was tremendous. The energy and that.
We are all excited to look into video. We're all very excited.
Yes.
And also, I think it's your music that really took us there, because initially we were all rough and not really in the
So tell me one thing.
That's when I was like, play the last part. That's what kept us going. And
so tell me one thing. When you started this thing, did you think? What did you think? I mean, what is this video or music video? What are the thoughts going in your mind?
What were your questions?
When you finally did the shoot, what are the thoughts going in your mind? Can you just share that?
So I actually,
even if it's bad, it's okay.
First time when I came to the foundation, so what I thought was, I didn't even speak to anyone. So I just thought that maybe this video is for Sir, that is for you. That way you go promote the song and let people know in the villages. So I had thought so. So then later I got to know it was like for all over the globe and to spread faith basically. So that was my actual what I assumed.
Okay.
So it helped that you had actually shared the reference audio and also the meaning to the song, so that we could understand what the song means, at least on a very very creamy layer. But then Ramya kept telling, see, we have to completely, surrender. It's like surrendering. We have to do that,
Trance.
we have to do this,
Trance,
and
trance.
trance. You go into trance.
Trans.
And
Trans.
Advait being, a Maratha, he kept telling, yeah, my uncle does that. Yeah, my auntie does that. Yeah, here they do that only. So the practice sessions were ultimate. Like, we really enjoyed it, and we had structured it, but then the last day when Ramya spoke to the director, and okay, then we were like, huh, okay, let us let it go. Now we have to let it go, right?
Now we
Let us
break the
let it go.
structures. Yeah.
Break.
The
Yeah,
last
break the structures.
that
Let us
talk,
do
I
what
think,
comes on that day. And I think everybody's energy that day, like our energies were connecting, and
Yeah.
that's what let us go into the trance. Or
Yeah, we were
we didn't
hitting off
bother.
other each other's energy and
Yeah,
just going with
yeah, we
it.
didn't bother about how we were looking or what's missing. Are we going to fall? Is the monkey going to get into our video? Nothing, nothing bothered.
Only worry was if the monkey takes the speaker and runs.
Which you did, which you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
We had to
That was
really
fun.
protect all the equipments, all the bags, everything.
Especially
Thousands of
Raman's bag.
monkeys.
Especially
Huh?
your red bag, Appa.
Especially Raman's bag.
Yashasvi, you're telling something.
yeah, I was talking about the monkeys itself. The monkeys also went into a trance looking at Alda.
Faithful
Like, we're the
monkeys.
ones who jump. Why are they jumping more than us? Let's
Yeah.
jump.
They just thought someone invaded their own territory.
But it was a fun process. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to experience that. More than anything
I
else,
think
it's
it's an
it's the
experience.
experience that counts. Yeah,
The experience,
and
yeah.
it was a wonderful experience.
The practice
Anyway.
sessions were and there was a lot to learn, and was very fun at the same time.
Yeah.
So we had the same vibe, is what I felt. All of us had the same vibe. So
And I think that vibe is what came out in the video also.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
that I think we all were just vibing to the song, and
The
and
way
that
you all cutely sang, that was very nice. Forget
It's
your
so
dancing.
beautiful.
You made them
It was-
sing also. So
I think
everyone
you
was
would
so
have dreaded
cutely
that,
singing,
Appa.
huh? What?
I think you would have wanted earplugs next to you.
No, you all sang well, yeah.
Hey,
It was
that
nice.
reminds me, Sai Brinda, you were just saying that you sing to the God. I want to hear one little bit of your singing.
Ayyo, Akka.
Yeah, like any song of faith that you would, 2 lines, just
One
2
tukda,
lines.
one small piece.
One little 2
And
lines.
Shashank, please show your talent simultaneously.
Thank you for
Yes.
breaking that, Saudamini.
Come on, Shashank, come closer
So
and show.
Sai and
Come on.
Shashank, one after another. Sing 2 lines of your favorite faith
No,
song.
no,
song
he
any
will
song of
react
faith.
to her singing.
React.
Oh, okay.
I only do it to the camera and all. What is this?
This camera is running.
You're
This
live. You're
camera is
live.
rolling.
It's
being
live,
recorded.
Shashank. It's like how you did for the video. You said, knock, knock, camera, come, let's go. Do it.
Show us your.
Come on.
Okay, my favorite song to sing whenever I'm down or hear whenever I'm down is Vargalamu Ayya. It's I forgot what the ragam is. I'm so sorry, sir.
Don't worry about it.
In trance now again.
Okay, I'll just sing 2 lines of Vargalamu Ayya. Vargalamu Ayya nanange Vargalamu Ayya nandan argil nin கொண்டாடவும் பாடவும் அங்கே வருகலாமோ ஐயா
Thank you.
Hey, what happened, Shashank?
Thank you.
Why are you quiet? Now, once again, she's going to action replay. She's going to sing and you're going to...
Yeah.
Replay.
Now
Okay,
that
come on.
you heard the song once, you can react to it
But
now.
it has to be extra.
Yeah,
Okay.
extra.
Come
You won't
on.
do because the director is not here, right?
Hey,
So
come on.
definitely you won't do it.
Quick.
3, 2, 1, go. Vargalamo Ayya
Hey, don't mute yourself here.
Vargalamo Ayya Naan Mundan Argil Dad பாடவும் அங்கே
Wonderful,
So much
guys.
fun.
So
Thanks
thanks
a lot.
for sharing your valuable time with us through this process of practice. And it was for a song, I think, being whatever, aware of what you all did, I think you all have gone out of your way to put in time to practice and come there, put in so much of time to select the right costumes, and amazing how the interest you have taken, the ownership you have taken, the enthusiasm, the spirit which you have got into the shoot. I think that was inspiring for me personally, and that's what I think has made this video very special, which I'm sure all of you and people are watching this video will definitely vouch for. It is a special video on faith, which definitely depicts madness and ecstasy. So thanks once again for coming today and sharing your views on faith. That is again something very, very special for all of us. Bidisha.
Yes, I will take this opportunity to really thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's so heartwarming that you all came up front and gave it all, that maybe more than that. Perhaps the biggest takeaway I would imagine or dream of will be that, keeping this experience with us and taking it to a place where we can all be a little bit more empathetic to everybody who are around us, those who we tend to forget, those people that we kind of live our comfortable lives on their shoulders and we never tend to acknowledge them. So, and also the necessity of having these dialogues between the different ideologies that we would accumulate over time. We will do that. All of us will come from very different directions, very different experiences, and so our ideologies and our judgment on things will be different. But the idea is to be able to come together, the willingness to have a space where we can all come together. And this concept of faith, through this, we are only trying to do that. So I just hope all of you, each one of you, will carry this forward in some way through your work, through your living. And I mean, that's the serious emotional part of it. But the fun part of it is coming up tomorrow. So let's all stay tightly together, and let's hope this reaches out to a lot of people, our intention of discovering faith. Thanks a lot.
Thank you once again.
Good night. Yeah.
Wonderful
Bye, guys.
having all of you. Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
dears.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for giving
guys.
the opportunity. It was
Yeah. I think if we were not like agreed for this, I think you would have missed an opportunity to have such crazy people and wonderful singer like you and Bidisha. You all are like really nice, and we thank you.
Big hug to everyone.
Yeah.